How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to part 3 of the Samsonas install into my mk3 Supra. So, this one is going to be about setting up the hydraulic release bearing. Now, I should add, before you get into watching this and be like, what are you up to? Surely Samsonas has a solution for this. They do. Right. So, I bought a throwout bearing, a rather expensive throwout bearing kit for the mk3 Supra with the R154. And about 2 days after I paid for it, I decided to get a Samsonas. So I was trying to sell it because Samsonas sell their own kit to suit their gearboxes. I didn't have any luck selling it, and it looked like I was going to lose a chunk of money on that, plus rebuying the Samsonas one. I figured, just because I am lucky enough to know some smart people with some equipment that I can use, that I'll be better off making what I had work rather than buying the Samsonas kit. When I say better off, I mean better off financially. It's going to eat up some hours making it, but whatever, that's my own fault for being indecisive in the first place. Anyway, we'll go head off and make a start. So what we're going to do now is just pop the clutch on. Going to double check that we have enough clearance back here that we can comfortably remove the gearbox while the clutch is on there. And then at the same time I'm going to start doing measurements for hydraulic release bearing for that. So what we're going to do is measure distance from the fingers to there, and then from there we can calculate the position of the throwout bearing based on its movement. Remember 96.6. Go that for a second. And 3 mil. $214. So these are the measurements here. Distance from the block to the fingers, gearbox into bell housing, throwout bearing. So needed that spacer with a gap. So 39.5 mil spacer needs to be sort of, we taper things so it slots in. So yeah, we'll go into there, slide on there, and then fix to the Samsonas gearbox. So now Willie has a giant lump of alloy here that he's going to
make a hell of a mess.
And I appreciate it, Willie, thank you. Bit of machining done. Just got a nice clean surface on there. I'm just going to flip it around, clean up the other side, make sure it's nice and true, and then start machining it down. I've got it to within a mil of where it needs to be, and this is where I'll let Willie take over. He can do the precise shit for me. Here is the first part of the adapter. It's a slight press fit into this little groove that's conveniently on the Samsonas. So Willie's just machining up the other part, which is going to press into there, and the throwout bearing will slide onto that. And hopefully that'll be, if we've measured it right, the correct length for the positioning of the throwout bearing. Worst case scenario, can either machine some off or put a shim in there, but have faith in ourselves and it should be right. Second piece machined up now, and just gonna press that in. So go from that chicken scratch to that. There it is, all in its spot. About 2.5 mil gap. See if we can turn the torch on. There we go. In place, 2.5 mil gap. Spec is 1.5 to 3, so that's all right. The lines, it's a different story. So might need to chuck a couple of 90s on there and see how I can go routing those. Whether I need to drill a hole in the bell housing to send them out the top.